So,
yeah.
Here we are.
It's another episode.
Number 16?
Number 16.
Yeah. Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Well, you gentlemen look pretty handsome.
Yeah, It is bitter cold, but here we are, braving the bitter cold.
Absolutely. We have two very special guests tonight.
Yeah,
We will be having on Teen Heartthrob, 80s sensation, Devin Dando. I don't know if you remember him, but he was...
One of the best.
Hopefully he won't be offended, but a bit of an also-ran to Corey Haim or Robert Downey Jr., maybe?
Yeah, you could say that. He was one of those ones that you had your eye on. You couldn't take your eye off him on screen.
But we hear he's a huge fan of the show. We're totally flattered. Also, Pryant?
Georges St-Pierre, one of my absolute favorite mixed martial artists.
Yeah.
I guess promoting an upcoming UFC event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very excited to talk to him. He's on the
UFC
line.
158. And Bryant is smoking his special pipe right now. It is by no means illicit.
It's actually strawberry flavored.
It's actually strawberry apple.
Oh, strawberry apple.
Strapple.
Strapple.
That's the flavor is actually called. It actually does say strapple.
A strapple flavored strap on, perhaps, is in the future of
How
sex
long
toys.
were you a smoker, Brian? I say were you because I'm being optimistic.
I'm on day one of this electronic cigarette apparatus, a smoking strapple right now. But I smoked for, I think, 11 years.
11 years.
Well, here's to a new beginning.
When did you take your first puff? How old were you?
15, 14? I don't remember. So now I'm blowing strawberry vapor into the garage. And I feel really cool. It looks like a crack pipe. It looks like I'm smoking a future crack pipe. It looks like RoboCop 2. I'm doing nuke right now.
Do you plan to do this in public?
I think it's actually kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it might be...
Yeah, what's the name of this product for those who are interested in kicking smoking as well?
This particular brand, because there's a few different brands of electronic cigarettes, but this brand is called Ego, and this is the Ego Twist model. And so, and then I've got this, I don't know, maybe it looks goofy because I decided to get this larger capsule that holds more of this liquid nicotine junk. But, so I think that's why it looks like
Isn't Devin
a crack
Dando
pipe.
actually the spokesman for that one?
Yeah, he is.
I think
He has been for some time.
I saw that ad in that magazine.
As if that guy has kicked any habit of his.
You know, speaking of spokespersons and kicking habits, I was actually telling Bryant earlier that I was listening to a commercial on the radio on the way over here, and it was about an operation to help people stop drinking, actually. And total serious. And but I was telling Bryant that when I was listening to it, the guy that they had as the spokesperson sounded crazily like our friend Harvey Hoffman.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. It actually sounded like Harvey.
We got to find that spot.
Yeah, we do. And it was but
Do you remember what the operation was called or anything?
No, I don't even know if they named it. They just said, "Come to this medical clinic and we'll."
But he had the same cadence and delivery.
He had a Boston accent. He's from Boston. But the delivery and the cadence were similar. And
did he have a very nasal tone?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. That was. I think that's what maybe
That was the giveaway.
Hinted it for me. But I don't think. Do you peg Harvey as a drinker?
No, I think he's wound too tight to drink.
Yeah.
I think he'd be more relaxed if he drank a little.
Harvey, I think, was a chain smoker, though.
But not those damn cigars like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Phonies.
Oh, boy.
Do you remember what the operation, like what?
No, I'm going to look it up. Maybe it'll be our future lightning round.
So they didn't mention in the commercial like what they did.
All they said was that it was a 30-minute. Like the guy, the person that was speaking, he said it was a 30-minute operation, and that it was. He said it was basically painless. So I don't know what that means. It could be basically painless, and that the next day, and for 8 months. So this was 8 months later. he had not had a single drink of alcohol, or the desire. He made a point of mentioning that desire to drink alcohol either. So, maybe we should be on the lookout for that
Did
as
it
well.
involve smoking a future crack pipe?
It might have. Yeah.
Do you want to hit the future crack pipe?
No,
On air?
I've never taken a puff of a cigarette, and I don't intend to take a puff of
He
a.
let me take a puff, and I coughed. I couldn't hang.
Yeah, I don't think I could probably hang either.
Doesn't it sound like a crack pipe when I hit this button?
Yeah, because it sounds like you could hear the water and everything.
Man. I like how I just go from sucking on one thing to another.
Nipple, cigarette, fake crack pipe.
Right, well,
Yeah, I wonder
Logical progression.
I wonder if law enforcement has been briefed about that crazy-looking product and products like it.
So they don't bust people. And
So they
it looks
don't,
like-
accidentally bust people for having something that's perfectly legal.
Anyways,
Anyhow.
let's start the theme.
Let's do.
Hello. Here's one called skullduggery. The medulla oblongata is steam-driven. It rises and then fails. It's a robbery. It's a robbery. And by the way, do not write this poem down. It was meant to be performed by me. You know me. I am Basil. It's a robbery!
Oh, lovely message there from Basil.
It's always good to hear from our fan, Basil. You know, he's a huge part of our fan base in Birmingham, England.
England, yeah.
From
I
Basil.
think he's been reading some Charles Darwin, actually, according to Skullduggery, that poem. That he
Yeah,
just
I thought
recited.
that was an interesting play on words. It wasn't skullduggery.
No.
It was skull
Druggery.
I wouldn't have picked Basil for being so clever, but I thought he was just all anger. But maybe there's some cleverness there.
Yeah. Well, he has more potential than he's letting on.
Agreed.
Also, skullduggery, I bet Devin Dando would be a fan.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
would be a fan of skullduggery.
One day we might have to have both those guys in the studio.
Speaking of Devin Dando, he's been on the line for quite some time.
He has been holding like a champ.
I think we should get to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Let me fiddle with the phone boards here. So right now we have 80s heartthrob superstar Devin Dando on the line.
Dreamy Devin Dando.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no worries there, Devin.
Yeah,
let's
it's
just
just awesome to be on the show, bro.
let's just go over why you're calling. The name of your book, Down and Out and Back.
Yeah, down and out and back, yeah.
Confessions of a Teen Heartthrob by Devin Dando.
Yeah.
And if
I've
you
been
don't
there
mind,
and done that, bro.
what was that, Devin?
I've been there and done that, man.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you have.
but
And back.
Yeah, and I'm back.
Good to have you back, Devin.
I feel great, man.
Let's if you don't mind there, Devin, we'd like to go over just some of your famous film credits.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, well, a personal favorite of mine and my first introduction to you after your TV work, Tyler. That was Tiffany, right? And
Oh man, that was a heck of a movie, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, I was so young back then. I was so young and impressionable.
And Jason Gedrick, how is he? Was he?
Jason Gedrick's a player, man. I mean, he's a real deal. He was a real professional, unlike me.
I've
I've
come on,
gotten in
Devin.
trouble.
Devin, you're giving yourself a hard time.
Okay,
I suppose I am. Actually, the critics really liked my performance in that one.
yeah,
so,
I did hear that too.
I can't complain.
So, driving school, yeah, that was a good one. That came out when I was in high school. Okay, Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, Harry Dean Stanton is a real professional. He was a father figure for me. I actually didn't have a father, but
And Maria Conchita Alonso,
Mother
was
figure?
was she a babe on set?
oh god, she was a fox. Everyone knew it, and she was just
she was in a way a mother figure for me. You know, I sort of grew up on set, so to speak, but you know, she was that strange combination of just being beautiful, you know, just like a real MILF type, but you know, a mom too. You know, it's weird.
Now, one of my favorites, Over and Out, 1989, Beau Bridges and Hulk Hogan.
One would say the height of all three of your careers, actually.
It could be, bro. You know, I was such a fan of Hulk Hogan going into it.
No,
it was just a dream come true.
You've heard
me.
about Hulkster's latest little problem faux pas there in the media. Did you ever see Little Hulkster?
Well, you know what, man? I'm no stranger to sexual escapades myself. You know, being Devin Dando, I got a reputation in the industry and throughout the universe. Let's face it. But
I think Jennifer Connelly would agree.
never did. Yeah, I never did see his mini Hulk or whatever you said. I don't know. I never saw it, man.
Did you ever see Little Beau Bridges?
Oh man, actually, yeah.
Always with the big jokes there.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not little, man. It is not little. It's big, Beau Bridges.
Would you say it's a 5 and wide?
Look,
a Cheswick.
Look, Beau Bridges needs bigger britches. Let's just say that, man.
You know, Devin,
let's leave it at that.
You know, I just want to say that although I know you've hit on some hard times, you've kept your sense of humor about yourself.
Well, you know, that's all I got in the end. You know, sometimes when you're just laying in a gutter wearing rags for an outfit, you still, if you can maintain that sense of humor, you know, you'll be fine, man.
Could you tell us a little bit about your 1991 semi-classic, Am I Still Dreaming, with Christy Swanson and Al Jarreau?
Yeah, you know, some people said that was a ripoff of the movies with the two Coreys. What were those called?
Well, there was Dream Machine.
Yeah. No, the one where they were like caught in a dream. I mean, it sounds funny, but I don't know. I forget the name of it. But people always said that I was like playing catch up to those guys. But that story really did have its own unique flavor.
And, you know, I don't mean to go over your whole filmography, Devin, but, you know, your last film of note, I know you did some extra work on the side, but Last Borders, tell us about that. Sherman Hemsley, a professional,
yeah.
Phoebe Cates, but just... It's kind of hard to go from there. I understand, you know.
Well, you know,
it
was set in the post-apocalyptic future. I was trying to do work that had a little bit more of an edge to it because I was trying to lose, you know, the pretty boy image and get a little tougher. So I was in Last Borders, and Borders, Boardez, because in the early '90s everything had to be kind of extreme, you know.
Yeah. Oh no.
I remember. And I was a part of like a skateboarder gang, and you know, it was just punk kids acting tough, and we were kind of a youth rebellion. We like led this youth revolt against everyone 35 and over.
Oh, so it's like a Logan's Run type thing.
Yeah, and it you know, it was a flop, but it really had a lot of good things going on, I felt.
Well, you know, Devin, you've touched on something that we want to talk about. You know, we know that you had that teen idol status growing up.
Absolutely.
So, and that, you know, you were a young actor, you know, the peanut butter commercial.
And I enjoyed every shred of it. Not to interrupt, but go on.
Oh, no, like, but, so how was that transition from that young, you know, pimply-faced boy that everyone loved up into your, you know, you've kind of developed this reputation as this notorious bad boy.
Right, up until I did Tyler, I think was one of my first movies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's all in the book, but I was wild from the beginning, bro. Really, I was. I mean, I grew up with a hippie mom in Santa Barbara, in Northern California. I didn't have a dad, as I said before.
Yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton, I guess, was my on-screen dad, if you will, but my dad actually, my real dad, I heard he was beaten to death at a racetrack somewhere in... sorry to find it funny, but...
Sorry, we've been smoking weed here in the studio. We apologize for laughing there, Devin.
And speaking of smoking
No,
weed, continue. I'm sorry, Devin.
Sorry, I mean, it's an emotional thing, and here I am, I'm getting my jollies out of it, too. I mean, I guess I can laugh looking back, but he was...
That's the first step.
He was beaten to death at a racetrack somewhere in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hold on here. I was going to finish my story just about my childhood, if you will.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, growing up, my mom would invite over, living in Northern California, my mom would invite over, like, Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys, and, like, Tanya Roberts, if you remember her from Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
And, yeah, and we'd party, like, with a Ouija board and do naked yoga.
Any Manson sightings?
What? Sorry?
Any Manson sightings?
No Manson, man, but, we got close. We'd finger paint naked, and Dennis would put, like, LSD in my chocolate milk, stuff like that. It was natural. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. But it's funny. I mean, I remember my mom took off my shirt one time, and she locked me in a closet with Tanya, and also Dina Lorraine. She was a porn star back in the day.
Okay.
Dina Lorraine. I don't know if you know her.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, and it was just me and Tanya and Dina Lorraine locked up in a closet, and my mom said, "Girls, I'm not letting you out until you make my son a man." So that was the kind of thing I grew up with. It was amazing, bro. I mean, when I was in that closet locked up with him, I mixed pixie sticks with White Dragon and poured it all over their wobbling jumblies. It was amazing time, dude.
That definitely was a different time because I've never heard the term jumblies, but go on.
Different words for different times.
How old were you?
I was like 11, something like that.
11?
Yeah, it's totally awesome, bro.
Definitely sounds like some wild times.
So you're snorting pixie sticks off naked breasts at 11 years old.
Well, pixie sticks mixed with White Dragon, coke.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom said it was fine, and I became a man that day. Whatever.
Now, before we go any further, can you tell me about your short, brief appearance in Tremors 3 with Kevin Bacon? You did.
It was uncredited. Actually.
Yeah, it was uncredited. You actually did some puppeteering work as one of the Tremors.
I'll be honest with you, man. I needed the money, and that check went very quickly to hard drugs. Let me tell you.
Now you were credited as Tremor number 8.
Tremor number 8. Yeah, I remember
that was some of the best puppeteering in the movie, though.
Yeah, funny story. Tremor number 9 was Corin Nemec, bro. True story, man.
His name is just coming
honest to God.
So, Devin, you're telling us all these stories and wild
Parker
times.
Lewis can lose, by the way.
What was it?
Parker Lewis can lose. He was Tremor number 9,
definitely.
man.
Devin, we've read stories in the newspaper. You hanging out with, the names that you would always see in the papers, Hall, Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And, so can you give us something that wasn't in the newspaper, something that just, maybe a little preview from the book, but not too much, but just something really wild that just is going to blow our minds right now.
Oh, yeah, just a really wild story. Well, countless, a lot of crazy shit. It's all in the book. Oh. That's what's important to know. It's all in the book. Okay, absolutely, all these stories are in the book.
Keeping it close to the vest, I understand.
Yeah, I could pick, like, from 1,000 stories, but one time, I remember in the mid-'90s, when my career was really in the shitter, I was in this alligator movie with... I mean, it sounds so funny looking back, but it was with Eric Estrada from Chips.
What year was this?
Well, if you ever want to look it up, you can. I think it was like 1996 or 7.
I remember Ice Cube was in that too, wasn't he?
Actually, no, you might be thinking of a different show, but this is called Croc. Krok. That's how they spelled it.
Okay.
It was a terrible movie, dude. But I mean, I had to wear this bad wig, and we were in the Louisiana Bayou. There was an alligator on the loose or some shit. It was terrible, but my veins needed the heroin, you know? I mean, as soon as they paid me, I shot that check right into my arm, man. But anyway, Lonnie Anderson and Samantha Mathis, remember she did Broken Arrow with Kristen Slater? Yeah, they were in it too, man. And God, they look great in that movie, bro. They played like mother and daughter in it. So I mean, they were just, it was hot. I mean, it's gross to think, mom and daughter look hot, but that's what I was thinking on the set.
Oh, that's Hollywood, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it better than we do.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
actually, I mean, it's more to my story, man.
Yeah.
I distinctly recall one day we'd finished shooting for the night, so we left the set. We took off. It was like 11 or 12 at night, and we went to Denny's, and I mean, I'm already laughing thinking about it. It was all of us, It was me, Eric, Lonnie, Sam, and also in the movie was this guy named Rob. And Rob, if you're out there, dude, I love you, bro. I love you, Rob.
We love you, Rob.
Rob played the villain's main henchman, man. And he was like this little toady. And when I say little, I mean it, because Rob was a midget, dude. Or, I mean a little person. That's what we have to say now, a little person.
Yeah, definitely.
So me, Eric, Lonnie, Sam, and Rob are sitting in the Denny's, right? And Rob says, "Hey, dudes, I still got some adrenochrome and cactus buttons left in my back pocket." And for those who don't know, cactus buttons are mescaline. Did you guys know that?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, no, but go on.
So a couple cactus buttons. The Yaqui Indians call it Bujas Brew. I don't know if you know that, but
No.
we were like, well, hey, what the hell? We're done shooting for the night, on this shitty movie. So we pounded all these cabs with some orange juice, And meanwhile, we're in Denny's, and we'd finished eating our food, and all of a sudden, it really started to hit us. It was epic, man. Like, Lonnie's face was like a tiger. She looked like a tiger with a blonde wig on, man. It was crazy. Well, Rob the midget, man, he got totally naked. He stripped off his clothes, and then management kicked us out, man. Kicked us out of Denny's. But we were, like, super horny and out of our minds, so we had, like, this big family-style gangbang in the Denny's parking lot.
Oh, wow.
It's a normal day at Denny's.
Yeah, I mean, like, Rob was riding piggyback on me, totally naked, and I was handling Lonnie and Sam at the same time, and Eric was screaming and doing naked cartwheels all through the parking lot, bro. It was good times, man. Let me tell you, and that's just one of a million stories. It's all in the book.
Well, Devin, we don't want to hold you for too long, but I just want to kind of touch base. Like, so you've written the book, and so you've got this past that you've put into this book.
Down and Out and Back.
So yeah, Down and Out and Back. Confessions
Yeah.
of a Teen Heartthrob.
Yeah.
So where are you now? You're post book now. So where are you now psychologically? With your extracurricular habits. Can you give us a little insight into where you are right now?
Man, I didn't want to brush past all my crazy stories so far. Like, I had like one more nugget for you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Okay, go for it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Just another crazy story. I mean, it's all in the book, as I said, but I don't know if you knew this, but I had a small part in The Medicine Man, that movie with Sean Connery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just blew by. It was a super small part. But I was actually painted brown to make me look like an Amazon native.
Okay.
I mean, the truth is,
So you're wearing brown face. Go on.
Yeah, and I really needed the money. I mean, I struck up a little bit of a friendship with Sean Connery. I was only on the set for a little bit, but one day I remember we were on break, and I had a couple oxys and some clonazepam in my grass skirt, and I said, "Hey, Sean, care for some, bro?" And believe it or not, dudes, he was totally into it. So
what was that last one? Clonazepam? Would you?
Yeah, clonazepam. Yeah.
Is that like a muscle relaxer or?
It's like a benzo or something.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so yeah, like I said, he was totally into it. We downed like a shit ton of these tranks, and suddenly we're like mega spacing out, like obviously, and we get mad horny. And then I gave some benzos and a little bit of husky. I had some husky in my grass skirt to the rest of the cast. I don't know if you guys know what husky. Yeah, I have some husky, and I gave the drugs to like some real natives because there were real natives mixed. Here I am painted brown, and there are real natives there too, a part of this crazy
Wasn't
movie.
D. Snyder one of the natives as well?
He might have been, man. It's all a blur. I was so high.
Did you guys do any triangle too?
Yeah, we might have been duffed out. I'm a fan of the show, by the way, man. That was hilarious.
Oh, thanks, Devin.
Yeah, I loved it. Anyway, dude, we were like totally fucked up out of our heads, including the natives, because I got them totally high on benzos and husky. And so we got just mega...
That's a bad mix, by the way.
Yeah, we got mega horny. And it was just a Sean Connery Native American gangbang in grass skirts, man. We were naked as jaybirds, bro. Just screaming and getting it on in the Amazon rainforest. And that was before TMZ. If they had like a helicopter flying overhead, checking out Sean Connery high out of his mind, having sex with people in grass skirts, that would make the news, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you about one more movie that you were in there, Devin?
Go for it, man.
Can you tell, please? It's one of my all-time favorites with you. Can you tell me about Tremors 4: Aftershock with Michael Jai White? I mean, you were superb in that movie.
Yeah. Me and Michael Jai White we became best of friends, man. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a great guy. Terrific to work with. Actually, very professional also. In comparison to me, I guess anyone's professional, but there you have it.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Devin.
It was fun being on the set of that one, man. Yeah, we felt like we cranked out a classic, actually.
Yeah, and that was probably one of Francis Ford Coppola's best jobs as a director. That was
he really polished that one up. I agree. It's one of the greats, and a forgotten classic as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Devin, we don't want to hold you too long.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you would like to end with? Perhaps plans for a comeback or anything like that.
Well, actually, I'm just plugging my book, man. I've been down and out, and now I'm back. So that's why I called the book that. I mean, it's truth in advertising. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
and truly, you've actually dispensed with some startling confessions, gangbangs, drug use, just all this stuff that's going to be really interesting to read about.
Amazon rainforest gangbangs.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, you know what, man? I had to get it off my chest. I mean, I've seen some things, I've done some things, and I had to write it all down. And you guys are just the beneficiaries as readers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Devin, in any other words before you depart here?
Yeah,
we got to move on with the show.
For your
here.
fans, maybe?
Just thanks so much, Pryant and Bat. My fans, I love you guys. I love you. All the girls, the teenage girls who've been with me from the very beginning. I love you, girls. I've probably banged 95% of most of you. Here I am saying most of 95, whatever. I'm high. And look, dudes, I'm a huge fan of your show. I am. And you can read about my ups and downs in the book. I mean, that's the way I'm back.
And
I'm
your
down
book,
and out and back.
Your book is available when? Is it out now?
It's actually out. Let's see. I think February 12th.
February 12th. Is that available online in stores, both?
Yeah, online stores. You can get on your Kindle. You can, dial it up on 56K modem, whatever, man. However you get it.
Well, I know what
just get it and enjoy it, man.
I know what I'm getting my girlfriend for Valentine's Day now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Also,
that is Valentine's Day, isn't it? I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd also like to mention that
I've broken a lot of hearts. Broken a lot of hearts, man. So it's actually kind of ironic, but whatever.
I wanted to mention too that January 19th, Tremors 4 remastered on Blu-ray is coming out. Yeah. Double disc, Francis Ford Coppola extended edition.
Thanks for plugging that, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
you did commentary on that, didn't you?
Yeah, you and Michael Jai White.
Yeah, I pounded so much fucking drugs. I don't even remember doing it, but.
Well, you're a friend to the podcast there, Devin, and you can come back anytime.
Dudes, thanks so much. Thanks a million.
Yeah,
man.
Thanks, Devin, for
and
coming
thanks
on.
for plugging the book.
And you truly are a sexual tyrannosaurus of epic proportions.
Pryant and Bat, you guys are probably no slouches yourself. Okay, guys.
All right,
take care,
Devin.
All right, bye.
Have a good one there, Devin. We love
you.
Wow. Okay.
That was Devin.
Devin Dando.
Devin Dando.
Just the same lady killer that we've always known.
Yeah, he hasn't changed a bit, and but I am glad that he's been down, he's been out, but now he's back.
He's been down, out,
and back,
and yeah,
and back.
Pretty sure that's it.
Yeah,
and
but I heard that we have a second guest.
We do have a second guest.
Was it a surprise?
He's been wanting to come on the show for quite some time. I think I'm for sure a fan.
Yeah, no, you're excited.
I know that for sure Owern is a fan. Owern is a fan also.
Thanks for inviting me back, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Owern.
It's good to be here.
Actually, I was thinking that, Bryant, I know you're a big fan of our next guest. So, there's a couch over there. So I want you to just relax, and Owen and I will take over.
Yeah, no, that might sound like a good. I don't want to sound like too big of a geek fanboy,
Yeah, but George.
Yeah, we were able to gain a little bit more perspective because we know that you're the ultimate UFC fan on this show, so we won't hyperventilate, unlike you, Brian. GSP,
welcome. And
are you there, GSP?
How's it going there, guys?
Georges St-Pierre.
It's a very big it's a big honor to be on the show. I've been listening since the beginning. I remember I was very much a big fan after especially after the ayahuasca episode.
Oh yeah,
you guys,
that was a good one.
We're glad you're such a fan, George.
You guys getting
George? Incidentally, while we're at it here, were you ever a fan of Devin Dando's work?
Devin Dando, I have to say that definitely I was big into Tremors 4. Aftershock with Michael Jai White.
4, really?
Wow.
Yes, Tremors 4 with Michael Jai White. Because I'm not a what you call a fighter.
Yeah.
I am a martial artist.
Okay.
And Michael Jai White, we go back and forth because we both.
Michael Jai White is a bit of a martial artist himself, isn't he?
Yeah. Both of us, we black belt in Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
And so we practice turning sidekick, on time to time.
Now, by the way, in the 80s, were you in America or were you in French Canada?
I'm originally from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and I've been there my whole life.
Your whole life?
Except during training, you mean?
Yes, when I was about 19 years old, I go to New York to train. I learned, jiu-jitsu. I learned the Muay Thai boxing.
By the way, George, do you have a favorite athlete? Like, who were the inspiring figures for you growing up?
Growing up, I was very big into Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, sure, the muscles from Brussels.
I see him. He do the splits, and he fuck the pussies. He's a big ladies' man. He get down. He munch the butthole.
I suppose he would do that. Yeah.
Don't downplay your Debonair style GSP.
By the way, Devin Dando,
he also being Belgium. He speaks the French, and he's got the big dick.
I suppose. Would you know that firsthand, George?
No comment.
What was that?
No comment.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, George. Well, let's get down to brass tacks.
Suddenly, you don't have much to say, George.
I would just like to say UFC 158.
That's actually what I was just getting to, George. Let me just set the scene for you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, UFC 158 versus Nick Diaz, someone that you're very familiar with George. March 16th in your hometown.
Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, do you feel you have home team advantage, so to speak?
When I fight in the Canada, I'm in the hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I get the energy, the resonance of the stadium within the people. They shout my name, and I get the hard on.
Mm-hmm.
My butthole quiver. So I am very, very excited, and I feel the love.
Well, but George, don't you think that critics might kind of jump on that fact that you almost seem to not take any fights unless they are in your hometown? Is it kind of a critique against you that you can only get fights in your hometown where you have such a perverse sexual pre-fight ritual?
Yeah, and I would add to that, George. Would you say that insisting on fighting in your hometown all the time is actually a bit of an emotional crutch for you?
Mm.
Well, I fought all around. I fought all around world, and I think I proved myself. But when the UFC comes to the Canada, is we get the most people excite.
Mm-hmm.
The most people excite, and
that could be argued. Yeah,
we get the people in the some of the big as attendance.
Big ass attendance. Yeah,
big ass attendance.
Big ass attendance.
Well,
so
I think we're all a fan of big ass attendance.
They come. They love the watch. And everybody's excited.
Well, George, you're a joy to watch, so it's understandable why the fans would come to see you because you're so exciting in the octagon.
Well, I work on my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Speaking of your training, specifically, George, as you may know, Freddie Roach, he also he's your boxing coach.
Yes.
And he trained Manny Pacquiao, who recently just got pretty much embarrassed in the boxing ring, not the octagon, of course, but the boxing ring. Any feeling on changing trainers, or are you sticking by old Freddie?
Well, I think I stick by Freddie, because Pacquiao, he just I was not impressed by his performance.
So whose performances are you impressed by, George?
I would have to say Devin Dando in Tremors 3.
3, not 4.
Very, very well. Tremors 4, Aftershock, Michael Jai White, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. I have to say favorite Tremors, but Tremors 3. Devin Dando as Tremor number 8, amazing puppet performance.
GSP, who will fight Anderson Silva?
So, who will fight Anderson?
Yes, can we expect Anderson Silva to be fighting anyone soon, or
someone from Canada, maybe?
When he'll be fighting me? Yeah,
that was the thought.
There's a question everybody asks. Everybody they're asking, George, when you gonna go up in weight, the problem, I'm ectomorph.
Yeah.
And if I go up in weight,
I have to kind of, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to lose that weight. Anderson, people are like, oh, you're scared. No, I am not scared of anyone. I come to fight, and I have the pride of martial artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, George.
And it'll come sooner or later that I come, and I come,
Yeah.
and I come.
Well, George St-Pierre, I mean, there's no doubting you are a fierce and fearless competitor. I don't think any of us are considering the idea that you are somehow afraid or you're dodging the idea of ever competing
That's
against
pussy
Anderson
bullshit.
Silva. Yeah.
I'd have to just say fuck that.
Yeah.
That to all the
Agreed.
phonies, I'm sick of the phonies. You know?
And I see Bryant sitting there. It's okay, Bryant. I know you're excited. I'm gonna ask the question. Yeah, don't worry. So one question I wanted to ask about Johnny Hendricks. Before, so a lot of people are saying that he's getting snubbed because you are choosing to fight Nick Diaz, or was it? Yeah, Nick Diaz instead of Johnny, who rightfully, I would agree that maybe he deserves a shot more than Nick Diaz. So any words for Johnny?
Well, first off, the Nick Diaz is unfinished business. He come at me with trash talk. I do not tolerate trash talk.
Trash talk, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm martial artist. And
Yeah.
when this guy, he come at me with trash talk,
Yeah.
I have to be like, I defend, honor,
Yeah.
honor,
Well,
defend, honor, trash talk.
Well-
Do not tolerate. Montreal, Quebec, Canada, UFC 158, let me tell you.
well,
It's gonna
I
be
if you'll excuse me, George St-Pierre.
Montreal.
I was just going to say that, someone as aggressive as Johnny Hendricks coming at you so hard.
Coming
Yeah. That would
very
be,
hard at me.
Yeah. Even for a martial artist
Martial artist
as you, that would
coming
be quite
Montreal.
to
And-
face, I'm
and-
sure.
When he comes at me at my face, when he comes at the face, I'm a martial artist, and I know because I have jujitsu.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. No,
but
by all means, George.
John Donaher, my jujitsu coach, he teach me to come early.
Okay.
Hey, George, and speaking of Johnny Hendricks,
And do you take that strategy into the bedroom as well?
No comment. Johnny Hendricks, Johnny is very, very good, strong. Opponent. He's got very good ground game. He's boxing, got the power.
yeah, and speaking of that, actually, because our friend, actually our podcast partner over here, Bryant, he actually looks very strikingly like Johnny Hendricks. So I was thinking, I don't know if Bryant would be okay with this. As a friend of the show, when you decide to finally fight Johnny Hendricks, perhaps we can actually get you and our friend Bryant in an octagon for some training, and maybe he could kind of get you in the spirit of taking down Johnny Hendricks. How would you feel about that, GSP?
I have to say that the Pryant, he's definitely in the same shape as Johnny. They're both very ripped with the six packs.
George,
they both have very beautiful manicured beards.
George, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know whether you've looked at him lately, but maybe
He comes
perhaps he
hard.
was in that kind of shape
He
a
comes
little while
hard
ago.
at my face.
But I know my brother pretty well, and I think he got the wrong guy.
UFC 158, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, is going to be a party. Be there, be square.
And
You fight. You see. I think my best performance.
Now, wait, do you have any words to say to Nick Diaz before you face him in the octagon?
First off, I am not scared, homie. I have never been scared, homie. I
Scared
come to fight you in my hometown. You have to defend your honor against me, my homeland.
and you'll have to back up what you say with the trash talk. And
I'm sure you will, George.
You come at me with everything you got, because I have been training in my jiu-jitsu. My ground game is very good. My boxing is very polished. I travel. I work with Phil Nurse at the Muay Thai, the kickboxing at the TriStar Gym in Montreal.
And defending the Stockton slap, right?
Defend the don't give me that.
Sorry,
I don't. It's not even funny.
We tease
this guy with the trash talk.
You know, we tease the ones we love here on Pryant and Bat Prodcast Hourn. Georges St-Pierre, it was a huge get to have you on this show. We are delighted to hear from you.
We wish you the best of luck.
You know,
and to hear that you're a fan of the show just tickles us pink.
It's been an honor to come on the show. I've been listening to it for many years.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to hear from you again, sir. And good luck in the octagon against Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz.
We look forward to it. I'm sure our fans do as well. Kick some ass, man.
It was an honor, and to all the phonies out there, are you down?
Well, you know, George, why don't you stay on the line, and maybe we can have a little surprise for our listeners at the end of the show. Would you be willing to do that?
You guys, anything for you? Anything for Johnny Hendricks' brother?
Yes, Bryant is his name.
Bryant.
Anything for Montreal?
Okay, well, just hang on the line, George, and we will be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, buddy?
All
right, good luck, buddy.
All right.
Talk to you in a few.
All right, you, sir.
So,
Boy,
yeah.
that was awesome hearing from him.
I hate to say it, I don't mean to question the production team, but do you think you don't think he was offended that we had Devin on before him? Because arguably,
it was just a scheduling issue.
Yeah.
that's the way it worked out.
Yeah, that's true. And we were getting a surprise, right, to get George.
Yeah.
He was a get,
And
but so was Devin.
But Devin is an interesting character in his own
Well,
right.
well,
and
Devin
we
was
thought
on the
maybe he
phone
would be good
first.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin was on the line first. So
Yeah,
I
wasn't
guess
he
it's
on?
just
He was on hold for about 25 minutes, wasn't he?
yeah.
He
Well,
really wanted to talk about that book, I guess.
yeah. So,
But anyway,
how was that the RoboCop trailers we were watching earlier?
how were they?
Yeah, if you had to rate them from like 0 to 10.
They were just utterly terrible. I remember asking you what was a harder fall from grace. Going from the original Predator to Predator 2, or going from the original RoboCop to RoboCop 2? And you said,
Predator Cop. No, I'd have to say that the biggest fall from grace definitely within those two franchises would have to be RoboCop, because I think Predator 2 with Danny Glover and Gary Busey and
Syrian Spy, Danny Glover.
Yeah, Syrian Spy, Danny Glover. I think was actually watchable. It wasn't too bad. And there's also it was also every bit as gory as the first Predator movie, whereas RoboCop 2 wasn't nearly as gory. The acting was terrible. The screenplay was terrible. Everything about it was terrible. And then RoboCop 3 was every bit as bad as the second.
Mm-hmm.
But
and RoboCop 3, we looked it up. It's a truly terrible movie for those who haven't seen it. It was written by Frank Miller.
Or the screenplay
Wow.
by Frank Miller.
The screenplay was by Frank Miller,
Pre-fame, Frank Miller.
the comic book sensation.
I think he was famous within comic books though at that time.
Oh yeah. He had already earned a reputation in that world.
I think he by that point he'd already been I think he had already done Watchmen.
Was that his first screenplay though, or?
It may have been.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It should have been his last screenplay, to be honest. But it was funny because we were, like Bryant said, we were checking out the trailers, and then we watched on YouTube, someone had dutifully uploaded the Blu-ray of RoboCop 3 on YouTube.
Wow.
The entire movie.
And it was in 720p, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was high-res RoboCop 3.
We were watching HD RoboCop 3.
And I dared Bryant, let's watch the last 10 minutes of this movie. You know?
And did he take that dare?
Yes.
And
come to find out, in RoboCop 3, RoboCop is a defender of the people.
Wow.
He's almost like a civil rights advocate because in Detroit, New Detroit, as they call it, and there was something of an uprising in New Detroit where there was some kind of corporate takeover that was threatening the very freedoms of the people of the city.
Wow, this just sounds like a...
Yes, so RoboCop finds himself as this Martin Luther King Jr. type character.
with a jetpack.
With a jetpack. He's MLK with a jetpack. And he's got to step in. By the way, you know,
By the way, that's Quentin Tarantino's new movie. MLK with a jetpack.
And surf
soon.
music.
Yeah, coming soon.
Well, the reason-
soundtrack by Dick Dale.
The reason RoboCop finds himself torn is because since he's this man-machine hybrid, he's being fed these commands by the evil corporate sponsors who want him to become this thoughtless killing machine against the city. And he has a bit of a conscience because his human side gets the better of him. Yeah. And he goes, you know what? No.
It's
I'm going
like,
to defend the people.
It's like a dystopian reverse robot story because he's a robot that's being told to become more robotic.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes. They
But he
want
breaks
him
free to fight for the people.
Yeah, they want him to quell his human side
Okay.
in favor of becoming fully robotic.
Oh, I see. And you know, speaking of RoboCop as a defender of injustice, I don't know. Have you guys ever seen that clip of when RoboCop saved? And this is not a joke. I'm laughing, but it's so ridiculous. RoboCop saving WCW's Sting from the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite clips.
That is an awesome clip, and he was defending.
No, I've
injustice.
gone on YouTube and looked that up about 4 or 5 separate times.
Yeah,
And
it never
is
gets
a joy
Yeah,
to
it
watch.
never loses its high caliber storytelling.
Funny.
By the way, not to interject, but this just reminds me of a conversation that I've had with Owern before, where we would mention very, very esoteric things, and we'd be like, "Oh, you remember how?" For example, you talking about, that RoboCop video. Have you seen RoboCop save Sting? In fact, I have seen that.
Yes. Yeah, we do find ourselves when we're talking to each other, never saying, "No, I don't remember that."
Yeah, and it's always
Somehow we always remember
Yeah.
these strange factoids.
Well, this is the crowd to talk to.
And it's
Right.
it's usually between us talking about esoteric video games from the 80s. And we're like, oh, you remember El Viento for Genesis? Yeah. And when you get that one feather power up, and it's like, yeah, I do remember that. In fact, I do.
Well, we've got to balance
and we've been
out
going
the-
on and on about Booger Man.
Yeah,
lately.
Booger Man for Sega Genesis.
Yeah, we have this inside joke about Booger Man. We've been laughing our butts off about the idea that maybe there could be like a girl fan of Booger Man somewhere. Someplace, there's a girl who's turned on by ridiculous video game fanboyness. So we were joking that Bryant would be playing the Sega Nomad,
Oh, okay.
in some public area. Like he could be on a train.
For those who don't know, the Sega Nomad was a portable Genesis.
Yeah. And we were joking that some girl would come out of nowhere and say, "Excuse me, I see that you're playing a Sega Nomad, and I couldn't help but notice that you're playing Booger Man."
My favorite game.
My
of all
favorite
time.
game of all time. And then, they lived happily ever after.
Yeah. If only. If you're out there and you like Booger Man.
And you'd be on a train. You wouldn't be on an airplane.
Yeah, you
Well, a train's more romantic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So, wherever you are, mystery girl who likes Booger Man, give me a call.
Yeah.
Lightning round?
It's lightning round time.
Uh-oh.
Hit the music.
Get ready, players! Lightning round! Lightning round! Lightning round!
Yeah. But also about the whole Booger Man thing.
We can't let sleeping dogs lie.
I forgot to mention I was talking about the Booger Man was musical, or was it a stage show?
Yeah, in the spirit of the old TMNT musical that they'd put on for kids, there could be the Booger Man musical.
Yeah. And the parents, if they thought that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was bad enough, you're going to Knott's Berry Farm and watching Teenage Mutant, or was it Universal Studios or whatever?
Probably
Yeah.
Universal,
If the parents thought that was bad, Booger Man the musical
The musical
coming
performance.
to a Universal Studios near you.
By the way, another clip that I've looked at over and over again on YouTube, besides Sting being saved by RoboCop, is Splinter on the TMNT musical performance singing his famous Skipping Stones.
Oh,
That was
The
name of
contemplative
his song.
number.
Yes,
The
it was very contemplative. And he talks about the passage of time and how we can all learn from skipping a stone across the pond, and how the ripples that emanate from a skipping stone are in a way like how we influence each other in life.
gosh. I just, in my head, I'm picturing Splinter, or the Splinter from the TMNT movies,
Yeah.
dressed up like Annie or something, skipping stones in front of a...
Oh, the costume they had this guy in was ratty. It was very ratty.
Yeah, well, I guess it had to be.
In more ways than one. And his voice is terrific. I mean, I'm addicted to this clip because his voice sounds like Neil Diamond.
Wow.
It kind of sounds like this, like that.
So, what did he have, like a full-on rat costume, or did he just kind of? It was obviously a human that had like brown makeup around his face or something.
No, it was full mask.
like
everything.
oh, okay,
mask.
okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
And you see his little rat mouth trying to sync with the words, you know.
Wow.
By the way,
It's genius stuff.
By the way,
no-
did you ever see the Road Dog Jesse James get saved by Booger Man? you remember that moment?
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
Well, that's the trump card.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That is the trump
It's hard
card.
to top that.
Brian, you want to go first?
But, well, I think I've gone first the last two times.
Have you? Okay, how about
Shall-
Pat
Shall I go first? Okay.
Bat goes first.
Yeah, we'll start with the one who writes the long-winded questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody will tune out right now. They'll fast forward.
They've already heard Devin Dando and GSP, so
Yeah, it's
they punched out early.
So, I actually, I know that's kind of egotistical of me, but I actually Googled our podcast just to see what was out there, and I actually found a forum, actually a fan club. It's called the Pryant and Bat Brat Stack Cast Pack, and
I've never heard of this.
they're actually, it's actually
Are
geared
they fans
towards.
of Booger Man?
I think they are, because it's actually. I was reading that the demographics are 6 to 18. So these are
Yeah.
children.
That sounds
Children
about
listeners.
like our age group.
So
And this is an explicit content show.
yeah, I know. Well, we've got some interesting
I'm
questions.
smoking a crack pipe on air.
I gathered some interesting questions. So
Well, you're smoking a crack pipe because you have to kick nicotine somehow.
and that's actually a good message for our
Might as
smaller
well smoke
listeners.
crack to
It
get
only
rid of
gets me back to normal.
A good message for our younger ones to get off the cigarette.
Can you smell the strawberries?
I can't. But when you blew it in my face, I could smell it. But
Can you smell the strawberries?
Yeah, I can.
Does
By
it
the
sm-
way, how many active members on that forum or club or whatever you want to call it?
unofficially, I think there's about. It looks like there's 1,004, which were actually the number of holds that Chris Jericho knew in WCW.
Interesting.
Small little tidbit.
Okay.
But I've
Keep
heard
the factoids coming, my friend.
going through the forum posts, it looked like there were actually a few lurkers, so there could be more. So
Okay.
it might not just be 1,004. It could be more.
Okay.
So are you guys ready for 10
Yes,
questions from
absolutely.
the Pryant and Bat Brat Stack Castback?
Yes.
Sure.
Question number 1 from Cindy S. from Salt Lake City asks, "What is your guys' favorite movie? Mine is Soylent Green."
Hers is Soylent Green.
Yeah.
How old is she? Did she mention
She's actually 11.
11?
11.
That's
Soylent Green.
Is
She
she
must have a
aware-
hip father.
Yeah, is she aware that Soylent Green is people?
I don't know. Maybe we can get in contact with her
Well, I'm
about that.
sure if it's her favorite, she knows that. but-
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's a very climactic theme that is revealed.
Or as Alex Jones would say, sheeple.
I'll have to watch this.
What is my favorite movie?
What
she
is your
asks?
favorite movie? Cindy S. from Salt Lake City asks.
A number of movies come to mind. I like the original Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
Her name again?
Cindy S.
Cindy S.
Mm-hmm.
I like the original Ghostbusters.
Very good.
And not Big Top Pee-wee. The original Pee-wee.
Big Adventure.
Big Adventure.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd probably say that's one of my favorites. too.
I'm going to have to go with George St. Pierre's pick of Francis Ford Coppola's Tremors 4, Aftershock, starring Michael Jai White.
Excellent choices. I'll go with Back to the Future.
As long as you're not humoring Devin Dando and you're being sincere, Brian, that's fine by me.
Because he doesn't need that right now.
No.
He needs compassion, not
He's
humor.
probably
He
in a
needs
very
support.
vulnerable place right now.
Yeah. I can imagine where.
He's visiting the racetrack where his father was killed, actually.
Or laying on the floor of some garage somewhere.
Yeah.
Question number 2 from...
With a knit cap on his head, probably.
Yeah.
And big aviator shades
I could
on.
just see it in my eyes.
Yeah, like Russell Brand. Kind of a
Russell
Hollywood
Brandstein.
burnout.
So next question from Jermaine from Owens, Georgia, age 12, asks, I want to be like you guys, just like you guys when I grow up, that or a chemist for global thermonuclear studies. Did you guys want to be podcast radio artists when you were little? If not, what did you want to be?
Well, it's a tough burden to bear to be us.
Yeah.
So, Jermaine, I don't know what you're talking about.
We could...
I don't think you want this.
Yeah, we couldn't have predicted this when we were kids.
This is a hard
Because-
job.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even go out in public without being hounded by the paparazzi, the police, guerrillas from Latin America.
And probably now, people from the Pryant and Bat Stack Castback.
And I have to fight the pussy off with the stick. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah?
And the
My stick.
the pussy and the canines as well.
The pussy in the butthole.
Both cats and dogs. Isn't that what you meant?
No comment.
That was a good impression. I thought it was him for a second.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Marta from San Pedro, California, age 9, asks, is Porter okay? He's really cute and I miss him already. I hope the bear that attacked him dies of bear AIDS.
Marta.
Marta, wow,
from San
it's-
Pedro. That's actually in our backyard, kind of.
Boy.
Um,
Is showing some animus.
Yeah.
There.
Did we...
Well, Marta,
Any
first of
update
all,
on
it's
Porter?
good to hear from you. We're glad you're a fan. Stay in school.
age 9?
Do
second grade?
consider not only finishing college, high school, of course, but going on to college. Porter is fine. We've heard that despite his mauling, that God did heal his wounds
Yeah.
miraculously. And
Healeth his wounds.
Heal- his
yeah,
wounds.
he healed his wounds.
And
He's sitting quietly in his crib and playing with his mobile, we heard.
Yeah.
So that was the
And,
last we heard,
yeah.
Marta.
I heard that he was eating dough puffs from Frantone's Pizza, and he's very happy.
Porter, we're thinking about you, buddy.
As to whether the bear died of bear AIDS, I'm not sure whether that happened.
Yeah.
It might
So
just
we
be...
can
But
follow
there's-
up on that
but-
in a
but-
later
but
episode.
But that bear
probably.
might be tagged, who knows? A forest ranger might be able to keep track of that.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Stephen J. from Butte, Montana, age 14, asks, sometimes my thing starts feeling funny and hard and bangs against my leg. I asked my dad what this meant, and he told me not to ask him that. What is happening to me?
Stephen J., what you're experiencing is the beginnings of manhood. Your hormones are changing,
It's a wonderful ride.
coursing through your body. This is perfectly natural. You're going through something that every boy experiences, and it's nothing to worry about. It's something to embrace vigorously every morning, every night, in the bathroom, in the shower. You know what I mean, bud?
I think what this means is that you're a grower, not a shower.
I I think that we probably touched his life right there. We changed the trajectory actually.
Yeah.
So next question. This actually I think is more to Bryant, but
Okay.
let's see. It says Trevor Weeb from Yakima, Washington, age 15, asks, Bryant, what is your name on Allods online? I am a paladin named Macaroni Cretin, and I just upgraded my rage, wisdom, and perception stats. Visited a goblin innkeeper and am ready to take on anyone in my threat radius. Will you join my guild? I'm sorry, Trevor. I didn't mean to laugh at you. I'm not familiar with the game. Bryant's gonna have to answer this question.
Well, Trevor, right? Trevor Weeby?
Trevor. Yeah.
Well, Trevor, hopefully you're playing on the same server. I'm on the Avalon server in North America. I'm a level 48. What am I again? I'm a warden. A level 48 warden. My player name is Square Pusher, and I have a cat named Muffin.
Oh, okay. It's gonna go well with Macaroni Cretin, probably.
Yeah.
And he's actually telling the truth, people.
And currently, man, what am I? I passed Koba Plateau. And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm somewhere past Koba Plateau. I forget what ALOD that I'm on, but
And by the way, our friend again, what's his name?
Trevor Weeby.
Trevor. This is a judge-free zone. You can geek out with us. We don't mind. We love that you love our show, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry I laughed, Trevor.
and also, sorry, I'm already in a guild called Panda Council, so I'm sorry, but you can still put me on your friends list there, Trevor, and we can still party up and do some questing.
That's very nice of you, Brian. Question 6. I think this one is more towards Owyn. This is from Alejandro Ortega from San Antonio, Texas, age 7. So
7,
probably our
young
youngest
one.
Owyn, you do art good. How do you make so many funny pictures? And what other drawers makes the best pictures? P.S. Tell Porter I said hi.
Well, I mean, I'm flattered. Thanks so much that you like my drawings, paintings, all my imagery. How did I get so good? Practice. Practice makes perfect, Alejandro. And I thank you for being so appreciative of my visual artistry. And keep reaching for the stars, young man. You're going to go places. What was the addendum to his question?
P.S. Tell Porter I said hi.
Tell Porter.
So second mention of Porter.
Porter's fine.
We don't, and we've heard, from the what was it the alert services?
Yeah, the Amber Alert services.
Amber Alert. We heard through Amber Alert that he's all right, but we don't have Porter's number.
Yeah.
So
He wasn't kidnapped. I was thinking for a second that maybe he had been picked up by strangers.
yeah,
Because he was just so incoherent.
And bewildered.
He was bewildered. He was bewildered in the wilderness.
and yeah,
You know, I think maybe even though
bewilderness.
Porter was only with us for one episode thus far, maybe he had the impact just because he's closer in age to most of these writers.
Yes.
So
definitely.
next question, moving right along. Number 7, you guys are so fucking funny. I laugh my ass off reading everything you guys say. How do you do it? Signed, Roger Driscoll, age 14. Dictated to Dr. Evan Hardley, Terre Haute Institute of the Hard of Hearing, Terre Haute, Indiana.
Oh, we have a, what would you say? Handicapped
Handicapped.
hard of hearing.
listener.
Yeah, hard of hearing.
Well,
I guess he has to have it transcribed from him.
I
Well,
suppose.
I try to keep up with all of the captions, notating entire episodes on the YouTube channel. So you're welcome there, sir, and I'm glad that you're a reader of the show.
Any thoughts on?
I would just parrot what he said. I mean, we are very appreciative of all our fans. And they come in many different shapes, colors, sizes.
We've heard from so many already.
Yeah.
Number 8, Preston Presley from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, age 15, asks, my brother says pro wrestling is gay, and I say it is awesome. I tried to prove to him it was cool by trying to push him off the top of a scaffold, just like New Jack did to Big Grimes. But my mom wouldn't
This
let
guy
me.
knows his stuff.
My mom wouldn't let me. What can I tell him that will stop him from his making homosexual jokes in my direction?
Well, just keep being yourself, and you know, I think you're just out of your mind if you think a scaffold match is gay.
Yeah.
ECW was the most extreme.
Yeah, shouldn't he just show him ECW?
Yeah.
Or was there anything gay about ECW?
No,
I can't
nothing
remember.
at all. And plus, there's so many babes. You had Beulah McGillicuddy.
That's true.
You had what was her name? Tina Marie.
Don Murray.
Don Murray.
Don Murray.
Don
Yeah.
Murray.
And there was an Asian one. What was the Asian?
Tamara Sitch.
Yeah, she was.
Sunny.
She was Sunny. Right?
Yeah.
And then there was. I forget the Asian one.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty good evidence.
Yeah, it was. In fact, what his name again?
His name was Preston Presley.
Yeah, Preston Presley. Tell your brother it was the diametric opposite of gay. I mean, absolutely the opposite. I don't know where he's coming from.
I don't even know either. I would even argue that maybe MMA would be more gay, visually than pro wrestling.
I think
Speedo fighting.
I think possibly you might want to consider this, Preston. Your brother is trying to cover up his own gayness,
Yeah, that's usually.
By the way,
and he's fronting.
by the way, George is still on the line.
Oh.
and he might want to apologize.
So,
about that.
I apologize, George.
George definitely does have one of the best packages in MMA, though.
True. Question number 9. Kirk Coolidge from Bangor, Maine asks, he's age 11.
Bangor, man.
Bangor, Maine, age 11. I love to dance with my funny uncle. My mom calls him that. Who is the best dancer of you three? And do any of you Gangnam Style?
We haven't gotten caught up in that trend, thankfully.
No.
But I was heavy into the Macarena.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What age were you when the Macarena came out?
Oh gosh, when did the Macarena come out? Let's see, 1997? 1998?
I'm really big into cybergoth.
Cybergoth.
Yeah, late 90s cybergoth.
Very good. Okay, last
I've got the
question.
multicolored dreads, sort of like Mortal Kombat 3.
And you do the alligator, don't you?
Yeah.
The
Well, I
alligator.
invented the alligator.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
also, to answer your question, all three of us do capoeira
Capoeira.
very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well.
Yeah. Owen does it while drunk.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And naked.
that's right.
Very naked.
While
Drunken-
crunk as well.
there you
Yeah.
go. Question 10 is from
Also while chunk. Yeah, eating Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, did we mention that?
Wild Chunky Monkey.
Chunky Monkey
Yeah.
and Cherry Garcia.
Yeah. And sometimes Sting and RoboCop show up.
And save you from
Yeah.
your drunkenness.
And at night he explores his manlyhood in their spunk.
Yeah.
What would Harvey say? Francis Albini was right, probably.
Our masturbating listener would know all about that.
And then he goes to the bathroom and there's a Terry funk. Go on.
Question 10, final question from Cynthia P.
He's got a big junk like Georges St-Pierre.
Who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? And he goes for the dunk like Shaquille O'Neal.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Shaq. He's a real hunk.
And he's got a really funny unk.
He does.
Didn't he mention that?
And he's just a
That
punk.
he has a funny unk, right?
And when your brother thinks you're a punk,
You're just straight out of luck.
I would say you're sunk.
Lunk?
you're
You're
sunk.
sunk.
I don't know.
You're
Yeah,
sunk.
you're
Your
sunk.
emotions are sunk.
Yeah.
Question 10, finally.
You know, it was a cool Pokemon. Muck. Muck was a cool Pokemon.
You know, here we are sitting like lunks.
That's just bunk. We gotta get on with these goddamn questions.
Can't take it anymore.
Man, sometimes
You know, I'm in
when
a
I-
funk now.
Sometimes when I already said that.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes when I clip my toenails, there's some gunk underneath. Was gunk used?
You know, I think it's all time we be quiet as a monk right now.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
A great game for turtle traps is bunk.
You're trying to.
I
rhyme.
know.
Okay.
It's
That is awful.
a bad rapper technique. Bunk, y'all.
Question number 10. Cynthia P. from Chicago, Illinois, age 17 and a half, probably one of the oldest posters. I do not mean to be crass, but I am very interested in your downy dongs. I can practically hear them bursting at the seams through my dollar store headphones. Can you tell me any more about them? And by the way, if you are interested, drop by a while, why don't you, when you're in Chicago. My friend and I are both just about 18 and like to wear tight-fitting sweaters. We think a girl should wear things tight on top to please a boy, and the boy should do the same at the bottom to please the girls. God bless and keep those pants tight. Wow.
Well,
Do we want to
we're
reveal anything
flattered,
about-
I suppose,
about
but
packages?
you are coming on a little too strong.
Yeah.
You might want to reel it in. I don't think boys your age are looking for girls that fast.
Yeah, probably.
I just, you know what,
Cynthia
Pat,
P.
you could maybe just give me her email later, and I'll send her a personal response. I don't think we need we fill up any more time.
One-on-one, usually.
Yeah.
That's the way to, to get people on track.
One-on-one.
Our Downy Dongs.
Downy Dongs, yeah.
And
that's
did she put it in quotes?
No, it was just really, I wasn't sure I was reading it correctly. Downy,
Okay.
because I just have never encountered that phrase. Have you? Downy Dongs?
A few times.
Wow. News to me.
All right. Is that all your questions, Pat?
That is all my questions.
I think I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go next because my questions are actually really short.
I loved hearing from our fans, by the way.
Yeah.
That was great. Okay, go on.
Okay. This goes to both of you. Favorite Pokemon?
Magikarp.
I don't even remember a Pokemon. How about Psyduck? Wasn't that one of them? Psyduck?
Psyduck was one.
Yeah,
of
there
them.
you go. Psyduck.
Sigh. Favorite seafood dish?
I'm thinking of a lobster bisque.
Fish sticks.
Do you like any seafood, Pat?
Not really. I like salmon, but that's river
What about
food.
the McFillet?
No.
How about the McFillet? Fillet. McFillet.
Yeah, we did have that joke, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Watermelon or honeydew?
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
The band Fish. What's the deal?
Well, apparently they're terrific performers, and they have just a real chemistry with their fans. Their fans love them and the way they play. So they're good entertainers in that sense. Am I a fan of their songwriting? Not so much.
I've always kind of thought of them as like a poor man's Grateful Dead. So, in the estimation of this podcast, that's pretty bad.
I think I would listen to Fish over Grateful Dead, though.
Yeah, Trey Anastasio over
Cherry
Cherry Garcia.
Cherry Garcia.
Cherry Garcia.
All right. Next question. ECW's New Jack crashes your wedding and hits your wife about the head with
From
a
a
Nintendo.
scaffold.
Wait a minute, with a what?
New Jack crashes your wedding and hits your wife about the head with a Nintendo.
An NES.
Yes.
A Nintendo Entertainment System.
Is this awesome?
It's an honor.
Yeah.
You know what? When she does, when New Jack shows up and does that, you are married.
Yeah.
He has
he's a priest.
officiated the marriage.
Yeah, he's a priest.
But don't you think that
You may
kind
now
of,
hit the bride with the Nintendo.
Yes.
That's
You
a si-
have been married by New Jack.
that's a sign of him softening? Though he shows up at weddings and he doesn't hit you over the head with a Nintendo. He hits you about the head.
Yes.
About that.
About the
Yeah.
head.
He's a real softy now.
Yeah.
By the way,
Only 4
I'm not-
justifiable homicides.
I'm not making this up. New Jack really did hit. I remember on a few occasions he would hit somebody with a Nintendo
Wow.
Yeah.
because he would have it in his junk cart.
Oh, that's
And
right.
there is nothing better than hearing Joey Styles. He hit him with a Nintendo.
Product placement in ECW.
Okay.
You know, they sold over 13 million Nintendo Entertainment Systems.
Yeah.
Over 13 million.
I think it was 16 million.
Or was it 16?
Yeah.
Man. Correction.
Number 6. Disney Star Wars. Gonna suck or be all bomb?
I think it stands a chance of at least being better than the last 3.
At least better than the second one of the new trilogy. That was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So all bomb?
In between, maybe.
It could potentially be all bomb.
Obama fear drones. Real?
In our hearts.
And minds. And loins.
Alex Jones, true American or Texas loonball?
True American in the spirit of the great Wally George, God rest his soul. A cartoonishly patriotic man. And that goes for both of them.
I think this is a very patriotic podcast. So the fact that we are fans of him would automatically make him American by proxy.
Yes. Agreed.
Monopoly.
Slap that about the head with a Nintendo.
Yeah.
And smoke it. Put it in your fake pipe and smoke it.
In my future crack pipe, my nuke pipe. Monopoly. Fun or ruiner of family time?
A little of both.
The ruiner. I actually enjoyed Monopoly, but I could definitely see it ruining family time in the wrong hands.
Yeah, it's a strange hybrid of the two, really. It's fun. You think it's fun, and then it goes to a very bad place and ruins your family time.
It gets dark.
When you realize that someone left $1,200 under the board just in case by cheating.
Yeah.
Dang.
Bryant.
I don't think we've ever played Monopoly, have we?
No, we haven't.
We should play Monopoly for I remember there's Monopoly for Super Nintendo. We should hunt that down. I
Yeah,
bet that's
we
fun.
should.
Last question. Favorite smell?
Difficult.
Yeah, I don't.
How about freshly cut roses? Or something more manly like a grilled steak.
I'm gonna go with aluminum.
It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's a good smell.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what I love the smell of?
Does aluminum have a smell?
Yeah. Well,
I like the smell of gasoline.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it.
You know, like when an old muscle car drives by
Yeah.
and you can smell the exhaust.
Well, it
and
smells like America.
It smells like America. It smells like masculinity. And it smells like better times gone by.
Yeah. Perhaps to return again, maybe?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
God willing, sir.
We've put to bed 2 lightning rounds and a third one on the way.
Bryant is now destroying the evidence of his lightning round questions. And I will move on to my lightning round questions.
Sounds good.
Pat!
Yes.
And
Pat's
yes.
Rick.
And
Pat's
yes.
Rick. By the way, have you ever thought about your name and how it's 2 names in one? You are Pat and Rick.
Yeah. I actually hate, I've always hated when I allow very few people to call me Pat. I've always, maybe it's the shame from that movie that was made in the 80s. It's Pat. Yeah. It's haunting.
I believe Devin Dando had a small part in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius, he had a friendship with Julius
Wasn't he
Sweeney.
painted brown like a Native American?
Yeah, I think he was.
It was
and
something like that.
Julius Sweeney suffering from. No, I won't go there.
Okay, Patricia
I was
or
gonna make a joke
Rosanna Arquette?
Well, one of them is a transgender, I believe.
No, that's their brother.
Oh, okay. Can you name me the movies that each of them?
Yeah,
were like-
Rosanna was in that old one with Madonna.
Oh, okay.
Who's that girl, right?
Yeah. So
Or
the one that was in the
Desperately Seeking Susan.
yeah, the one that was in the movie with
Yeah.
Madonna, and then the other one, she was in what?
And then Patricia was in the one with Christian Slater. Bryant?
Oh,
True Romance.
yeah.
Maybe I'll go with Patricia then.
Okay,
Yeah.
Patricia. Best 70s rock musical.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott Baio. Good people?
I don't know too much about the guy. I think he's not good people, not bad people, but just depressing people. Kind of in the vein of. Well, no, I won't go there either.
Were you about to say Devin?
No,
Dando?
I wasn't. Sorry, Devin. I didn't mean it.
He's a fan of the show, and we
Yeah.
love him here at the Pryant and Bat Broadcast
I'm just
Hourn.
pissing off guests left and right.
Yeah. Favorite chocolate cereal?
Ooh, now this is a question I could really dig into.
This is your whole childhood.
Yeah,
right
this
here.
is. I've actually very rarely tried Count Chocula, which I know is kind of like the ultimate chocolate cereal.
Yeah.
But I had a cereal. There was a cereal that I don't think it was the same one as they still have today, but there was a Nesquik cereal. And they have one today, but there was one where they had these really tiny little balls, like mini kicks, but they were Nesquik, and it was delicious. But
Well, I know how you like tiny balls.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
And nice and brown, too.
Devin Dando.
So that was your favorite.
Yeah,
And what
it
were
was
they called again?
It was called Nesquik cereal, but they only made it for a
Nesquik
couple
cereal.
years. Yeah.
Nesquik,
Yeah.
little brown
So
balls.
otherwise, we'll say Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
Okay. Projection. The main players of WW3.
I'm gonna say America because we always have to be in.
Right.
But we're gonna come in late.
As usual.
Yeah, we're gonna come in late as usual.
Reluctantly get pulled into it.
And actually, we're gonna come in as 49 states because actually the main superpower is going to be Hawaii
Okay.
in the war.
Yeah.
And they are going to be associated with Japan, of course. So
Yeah.
Hawaii and Japan are going to form the natural newest
Okay, so
superpower.
we'll be allies with Japan.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Okay.
It'll be Hawaii, which is seceded as a state,
Okay.
and it's its own nation. So Hawaii, the USA, and Japan against all of continental Europe.
all of continental Europe.
Yeah,
Does that include UK because it's not a part of the continent? Of
yeah.
Europe?
Actually, they're going to strike back at us for all those bad teeth jokes over the years.
Oh, really?
And you know who the
So they'll be allied with continental Europe.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And you know who's going to lead the charge, don't you?
Basil.
Basil is going to lead the
Wow.
charge.
Wow. So he grows up to be a dictator.
Basil.
A wild projection. He's going to be the Homer.
Well, you know how they say you don't know who's going to be the next Hitler.
Yeah, yeah.
Basil will be the next
Well,
Hitler.
I think he's going to be. You know how Homer depicted the war between the Sparta and and he's going to be the Homer of this next World War.
Well, that begs the question: will America, allied with Hawaii and Japan, will they be the good guys, or will they be the equivalent of the Nazis and Imperial Japan?
That's a good question. I guess we'll have to find out.
You know, no one's listened to Basil since he was 4 years old.
4 years old.
Hey, don't make fun of Basil.
Wait a minute. Where does that leave the rest of the world? I mean, this is a world war. So, what is Russia doing? What is China doing?
Well, the Swiss are actually going to stop being so neutral, and they're going to ally with us as a little brother. A little brother. We're going to hold their hand, you know. And
Wow.
yeah, and
But they're a part of continental Europe.
I know.
You'd think that they would just get trounced.
Yeah, but you know, since they were neutral for so many years, they are
Okay.
just like a lost little child in a supermarket.
And how about North Africa and the Middle East? What are they up to?
Yeah, you know, we want to deal with them. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Wait, what is it about? You know how World War II, it
Well-
was generally about how the Germans were, well, basically insane.
And then
It was very racial in nature. They wanted to kill the Jewish people. They wanted to reclaim all the land that they felt was taken from them, I suppose. I mean, there were a lot of agendas at play during World War II, but what's the main thrust of World War III going to be?
well, for the British, it's the bad teeth.
okay.
Bad teeth quips. Qatar, they want to actually own all of the world's sports cars. So
Now that I can believe.
yeah, and there's so many strands that we can't even broach it
Okay.
here.
That's actually a good question, but I have 5 more for you.
Oh wow.
Better, cauliflower or broccoli? We'll lighten the mood after World War III.
Yeah. I'm gonna say broccoli.
Okay. Do you like fruitcake?
No, I hate anything that associates fruit with pastry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, what about,
or chocolate.
what's the Greek pastry?
Oh, gyro? No, not gyro. Or hero.
The phyllo dough?
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Is that too close to being apple cinnamon for you?
yeah,
Actually, it's got a ton of honey on it.
yeah, but even
Baklava.
even honey.
Is that
Oh,
called
yeah,
baklava?
yeah. But even honey, I can't.
Okay, you can't dig on that.
No.
Least necessary table utensil.
The
You're eating a meal. What could you do without?
soup spoon.
Soup spoon.
Just use the regular spoon.
Okay.
Or the salad fork.
Yeah, definitely.
More bastard children, Mick Jagger or Gene from Calabasas?
I'm gonna guess Gene, just because I think even though Mick has sown some wild oats, I think he's, and I don't. Again, I hate to be insulting so many of our guests that come on, but I have to say that I think Mick Jagger might be a tiny bit smarter than Gene. So I think he'd be more careful.
Okay.
Gene.
Wow.
I hope he's not listening to this episode.
Yeah, that bruised his ego.
I'll
if he was
respect
listening.
Gene, but it's actually a compliment because you've probably
Okay.
had sex with more women.
Last question for you, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Well, if this is calling back to that question where you were asking if I was going to lay in a bed naked with Elton John, who I believe is the singer of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?"
And you were totally game. Man.
I was totally game
You were
because
down for that one.
I was guaranteed that there would be no sexual contact. And,
Yes. But this is a guarantee coming from an unquestionably gay man.
But remember,
So it comes down to how trustworthy you find him to be. I mean, a guarantee coming from an old lecherous pufter? I mean...
I'm willing to give him a chance for the G's.
for the G.
For the G's. I think it was 35,000 G's. But the answer is no, I cannot or would not feel the love tonight or any night
Okay.
with Elton John.
All right. Okay. Bryant.
Yes.
America's biggest threat right now.
Basil.
Your own spaceship or your own hovercraft?
Spaceship. You can explore more territory.
Yeah. Dennis Franz or Dennis Farina?
Battle of the Mustaches.
Ooh, I think I'm going to go Farina.
Why? He was in Tremors 4, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was in Tremors 4. But
He wasn't in Tremors 4.
definitely much more handsome.
Okay. The number of years before the EU economy crashes.
6 months.
Not even a year.
No.
Wow.
That's Alex Jones.
Another
style.
another cause of World War III.
The world banks. They're taking it all, people.
Okay, now this is
Prepare
big.
your FEMA coffins.
This is big for you. Are you ready? Tim the Toolman Taylor or Al Borland?
Al Borland all the way.
Really?
Yeah.
He knew all the stuff.
Tim was incompetent.
Yeah. Do you think he should have been the host of the show? They should have swapped places. You know that Al
The
should have
show
been the
within
host?
the show?
Yeah,
Or
the
you
show
talking-
within the show.
Oh, no. Should have been Tim.
Oh, okay.
It is his show.
Better detective, Mariska Hargitay or Ice-T? I mean, they work fabulously well together.
Well,
but if they were separated,
I like Ice-T more, but Mariska's got the intuition.
she does.
She's got the
Yeah.
detective skills there.
She does. Hillary Duff or Mandy Moore?
I'm trying to remember what Mandy Moore looks like. I'm just gonna go with Mandy Moore. I'm pretty sure she's more attractive than Hillary Duff. I don't remember.
Pat, your sentiments?
Wait, are they even legal still?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're probably our age.
Long since legal.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they can't be our
Mandy
age.
Moore is definitely older than me, and I think Hillary Duff might be my age.
Yeah.
Really?
Time
Yeah.
flies when you're.
Hillary Duff has already squeezed out a hockey player's baby.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Luke Robitaille?
Yeah,
who is a professional hockey player? Only are the people in Canada listening to this show.
No,
would,
but Pat,
would
you were going
know.
to weigh in?
I'm gonna go with.
You know what both of them look like, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if Georges St-Pierre knows.
I'm gonna go. Even though I'm not a fan of blondes generally, I'm gonna go with Hillary Duff.
Okay. All right. He'll do.
He'll do.
Yeah.
He will do.
You will do, he'll
Yes.
do. Have you ever wanted to own your own business? If so, what would it be?
No, but if I had to have a business, I would have a pet store.
No, that's actually pretty cool.
'Cause,
And that actually suits your personality. I
Yeah,
think.
because I mean, you get to see happy children and families and picking up cute doggies and kittens and snakes.
What your black man
Kittens and
name
snakes.
would be?
My black man name?
What would your black name be?
Grover Washington Jr.
Oh, isn't that the lead character in the new Tarantino movie?
No, Grover Washington Jr. is actually a jazz musician.
Yeah. And it is a remarkably wonderful African-American name.
Al Jarreau.
Yeah. Al Jarreau, that's a good name. Here we go. Your last question. Your favorite erotic dream that you've ever had. If you've had an erotic dream, I assume you have had one.
I can't remember.
You've probably had erotic dreams, though, right?
Probably.
Well, make one up right
Pat?
now. God damn it!
Pat, have you ever had an erotic dream?
You know, I didn't. I don't. I'm sure I have.
My favorite erotic dream was never mind.
It was you, Dean Devlin, Al Jarreau. Not Dean Devlin.
Baez.
Dean Devlin, the producer of the Godzilla movie from year 2000. When was that?
Actually,
Mine was Mariska Hargitay
Yeah.
and Devin
solving
Dando.
my penis.
Actually, I had an erotic dream recently with all three of us, and actually Devin was there as well. And I'm gonna say that what's her name? B. Arthur was somehow involved.
Devin Dando, B. Arthur,
Yeah, exhumed corpse. B. Arthur.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Maud.
Maud. Yeah. Then there was Maud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who else was in there?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. Although he was
Jerry Rosalie from
the Sonics.
The Sonics,
Wow,
yeah.
he's a screamer.
You're a dirty robber!
And
Then backup vocals was Danzig.
then Basil.
Basil.
It's a rubber rate.
Who do you think would win between Jerry Rosalie and Danzig?
I think Jerry Rosalie's taller.
Are we talking fisticuffs? Are we talking
No, we're
a
talking about
sing-off?
sing-off.
Oh, Rosalie definitely. Are we talking prime Rosalie?
Prime Rosalie versus Prime Danzig. Prime Zig versus Prime Rosalie.
Primrose.
Primrose and Primzig.
What if they challenge each other to a prime rib eating contest?
I bet Danzig would win that one.
Yeah, Danzig would win.
He's just red meat
Well,
all
they
the
go
way.
Prime Ol.
Just the scream off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if they challenge each other to a game of Primal Rage?
Yeah.
The upright arcade game from, what was it, 1996?
Yeah, something
Around
like
there.
that. Well, this has been quite a long episode.
Yeah.
Again, we've been doing
epochs?
epochs.
Yeah, but we padded it out reasonably well.
Yeah.
And
Pat it out.
yeah, and GSP has been holding for so long.
Yeah. Well, should we welcome him back?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. GSP, are you there?
Hello, guys.
Okay. Are you ready? We're gonna do it.
Yeah, thanks so
Okay.
much for holding, man. Are you ready?
Montreal, UFC 158.
Yeah, we know, man.
Nick Diaz, I'm coming. I'm not scared, Tommy.
Yeah, you're gonna total him, bro.
I'm not scared. I know
Okay.
jiu-jitsu. I've been working on my ground game. Freddie Roach been working, helping me with my boxing.
Yeah,
All right.
we know, George.
George, we gotta go.
Are you ready?
Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
We're tight on time, man. Are you ready? On three?
Okay. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Are you down?